All right, welcome back to season 2, a nice fresh season of our show. We got a beautiful one for you today. We got a beef sirloin tri-tip for you today. We're going to kebab it up, cook it up. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, so this is a 7-pound tri-tip, and we're going to kebab this down today. So we're making some kebabs out of this. This piece of meat happens to be a tough piece of meat, so you could either cook it fast or slow roast it, but you have to be very careful with it because it's lean and you could dry it right out. So the first thing we're going to do before we even do our kebabs is get some of this fat off of here. There's some silver skin under here, so we're going to start by removing that because you don't want to cut that up in your kebabs. And just clean it up real good. A lot of people won't use this piece of meat because they don't know how. But this was $3.50 a pound, so how do you go wrong? And you're still eating red meat, good red meat. Just requires a little bit of work. All right. This was very big back in the 70s. A lot of people ate this cut or stewed it down. Any piece of meat like this that's tough is always great for stewing. And it's very easy to clean up. You don't have to go too much with it. And I leave some of the fat on here because it grills up nice. And that's what we'll be doing. We'll be grilling it off today. And for an inexpensive piece of meat, it certainly is tasty. Especially nowadays. Gotta watch the budget. So just go around, clean it up. Very easy to do. This is half the battle. Just being able to prepare your meats and getting them ready for a cook and seeing what comes first. So I'm going to cut all this up, but once I cut it up, I rather work with the roast full like this so I have more control of the fat than cut it up and have to try to get all these pieces off of it, of fat. So I rather deal with the fat first and kebab it later. And all this fat right here, we'll get that right out of there. But in fact, I can just cut this whole piece right out of here. We're gonna bob it anyway, so let's make it easy. This is where all the cartilage is, and this is a tough spot. So right around here where all the cartilage was, where it connected to the bone, just get rid of that. Otherwise, it's going to make for a very tough kebab. Now that piece of meat is pretty clean. Just move this up to the side and get that out of there. There you have it. Very easy. Not too difficult. And now we'll kebab that up. Piece of fat on top. And when you cut this into kebabs, if you don't get the fat now, you'll get it as you're cutting them into the kebab. Some of that fat's hiding in the middle there, but I'll get that when I cut it up. So I'm just going to put that off to the side and work with a bigger piece. This big piece of skin here. Let's just get that out of there. This is what makes for unpleasant pieces of meat that people find undesirable because they're just not butchered right. So butcher it right, and it makes a world of difference in the meat. You won't even know you're eating the same cut of meat. as long as you cut it right, butcher it right. Cut out the fat right. There you have it. All right, I'm gonna get to cutting the rest of this piece of meat up, trimming it up, and I'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, so we got our meat cut up. Took all the fat off of it, so we're just gonna get this off to the side, and we're gonna show you the marinade that it's gonna go into. So we're gonna start right now, just with an onion. We're gonna dice it up. Get it into our little food processor. And we want to pulverize this down to nothing, pretty much. That's how you want this onion. This is a tiny food processor. This is all you're going to need. I'm going to start off don't even want to see the onion anymore. You just want a liquid out of here. Like a paste. That's about where we're going to be. Right there. And here's our paste. Just going right in there. All right. Get all of that in there, even from the hood. Now we're going to add a little oregano, just dry, a good amount. Lee and Perrin's Worcestershire, just eyeball it. Everything's by eyeball. I don't really have any specific measuring for it. It's a good amount, good douse. Salt and pepper. Not much on the salt. Black pepper. Dry sherry. Good douse of the dry sherry. And last but not least, actually, here's some olive oil. Good olive oil. Good amount of that. And a fresh lemon. So we're going to slice up a fresh lemon here. Pull back the seeds. All right, and that is it. We're going to whisk this. Very simple marinade. The cherry's going to break down the meat. You can either use alcohol, which it's going to burn off, or use a vinegar, but alcohol and vinegar will break down the meat. All right, so here's our meat. We're going to get the cube in it. and inside the marinade it goes. So I want about those size kebabs, and it goes. It's a good size kebab. Into the marinade she goes. Like I said, if you find any fat like this still on there, as you're kebabbing it, you could just cut it right off. This yielded a lot of meat. This was 7 pounds. You probably lost a quarter pound in just defatting it. But it cuts pretty lean. It's gonna eat pretty lean. Nice big pieces. I'll leave them. That's it. Into the marinade it goes. And we're going to skew these up tomorrow, right before they hit the grill. And we're cooking these on an open fire. The only way to cook kebabs. We're going to cook them hot and quick. All right, we got a couple more pieces to go. And then we'll get this mixed down into the marinade. And that's, like I said, that's about the size you want them. So this way, when somebody grabs a kebab, they got some big, they got some small. So this piece of meat, this is very good eating. Very tasty piece of meat. Just takes a little bit to work with it, get all that fat off of there. And the silver skin, but when you do, you won't regret it. All right, so let's just get this mixed in with that nice marinade. I'm gonna put this in the fridge overnight and let it just tenderize this meat. And you can see that I got it almost in a bath, because you want the meat to go down in there, and it's going to soak up most of that onion and the wine, and it's just going to get it nice and tender. We'll put a piece of plastic on the top of here, and we'll skewer them up tomorrow. All right, that's it. Overnight in the fridge they go, and onto the cooker we go. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Okay, it's day 2, and this is our marinade. As you can see, the kebab soaked up a lot of that marinade in there. I'm just going to give them a little mix before they go on to the skewers, and then we're just going to skewer them up. I can feel the consistency just a little bit softer in there. And let's get them skewed up. Now I'll have a few different skewers that I use, because you can't use one skewer for every grill. So we're cooking on a kebab grill today, and that's going to allow me to get the skewer completely on the grill and not hanging outside, so I can get a good turn on these. Gotta load some up with some big, some small. Being careful not to poke myself. And get her done. Now I don't put any vegetables on these because when you put the meat and the vegetables together, everything just cooks not the same. And today we're having our salad not grilled. Alright, so that's the way you want to skew this up. I'm just going to do another one for you. You can stick it down first so you don't stick yourself. If you think you're not gonna make it, so just stick it in first, then get it on. This way you're skewing up safely. It's still a sharp knife with a point on the end, so that might be the easiest way to go for you. Just kind of stick them down on the plate first, so you don't poke yourself. All right, I'm gonna get to skewering these up and we'll meet you on the grill. All right, this is what we're rolling with today. This is my shish kebab cooker. I'm gonna leave a link in the description to my shrimp and grits video, and that shows a complete breakdown to this cooker. All right, so this is my setup. I got this grill ready to get fired. This is the wood setup. I got some burned down wood in the middle. A couple of pieces of oak and some apple on the sides. And when that gets burned in, I'll kind of mix it in together. And then we'll put our grates down, let those get seasoned in. And throw our kebabs on. Okay, now that we got our kebabs all skewed up, we're going to show you a quick Mediterranean rice to go along with these kebabs. So right here we have some salt, saffron, cardamom, cumin seed, diced onion, little olive oil, and red pepper. Billed red pepper cut up. I've got 2 cups of rice in here. I've got 4 cups of water in here. Let's get it going. Let's get our onions in, our cardamom, our cumin. Let's put the saffron in last. Get our bell pepper in there. And a good douse of the olive oil. All right, let's get our water in. Now I'm not going to use all the water because I want to see how my rice is. Usually when you put fresh peppers and onions in rice, they release water. So you don't want your rice to become mushy. So I can always add more water at the end. I can't add it if I overgo. Let's go in with a little saffron. Mix that in. I put the threads right in there. They'll get lost in there. And a pinch of salt. I'm going to get this onto the stove, bring it up to a boil. As we bring it up to a boil, once this water evaporates down and you can start to see the rice, we're going to put it on low, put the lid on it, call it a day. All right, on the stove we go. I'm going to start this off on high. Like I said, bring this to a boil and we're going to see that rice, and then we're going to put the lid on it and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so we can start to see our rice now. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut this off. I started the back eye. I put it on low already. So I'm going to get this off the high heat. I'm going to get the lid on it and let it simmer. It's on low, low, low. We're going to let it steam off, rake it back, and we're done. All right, our fire's lit. We're gonna let this get stabilized. We're gonna spread those coals out. All into kebabs we go. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, our fire's lit, and while that's going, we're going to show you just a quick Alabama white sauce, traditional. So what you're going to need is some onion powder, ground black pepper, apple cider vinegar, mayonnaise. I have some mustard here. I'm using stone ground today, and we're using some horseradish. So let's get this going. We're going to start off with our base, which is mayonnaise. So a good amount of the old mayonnaise. Kind of eyeball this because you're going to taste it as you go along. Keep tasting it. I'm going to use a little bit of vinegar. Onion powder. The douse. There's no salt in here. And black pepper. We're not using salt because our other condiments have it. Our mustard. Just going to use a bit. If you don't have this stone ground, you could use whatever you like. And our horseradish. Now I do like horseradish, so I put a good amount of horseradish in here. Now we haven't tasted this yet, so we're going to give it a quick stir. Consistency looks pretty good right off the bat. Doesn't take much. It's just a basic white sauce. Then after we're done with the spoon and we taste it, we'll go in with the whisk to get it smooth. Let's give that a shot. More horseradish. And probably a touch more black pepper. Let's give that a try. Believe it or not, it needs more mayo. The vinegar is overpowering it. So we're going to go in with some more mayo. This is going to make a lot. And at this point, I'm going to use my whisk. To really get this mixed in good. Now this recipe usually goes with brown sugar. We're not putting any sugar in here today. But if I do have to add sugar, it's going to be white. Because I want to keep the white sauce white. I don't want to turn it brown. So that's what I would do. Let's give this a little shot. Almost spot on. Just needs a little bit more pepper. Onion powder. And I am going to go in with a spoonful of sugar, white sugar. And this is going to cut down just a little bit. And this is going to cut down on that acid from the vinegar. And we're pretty much looking good here. I mean, it's that little bit of sweetness in there. All right, let's give this a try. Perfect. All right, and our white sauce is done. We'll see you out on the grill with the kebabs. Okay, our fire is ready. Time to get this on. I'm gonna start getting them right in there. I'm going to get one in the back. We're not going to close the lid. We're just going to toast them up for a little bit. Get a good look at what's going on in there. This is what you want. You're going to get them charred up nicely. And then flip them over. Get one out of the fire, one in the fire. One out of the fire, one in the fire. Until they're all charred up nicely. They'll go off of the fire so they can cook inside. Let's turn them over. That's what you're looking for. A nice char. All right, we're going to get all these charred up. And we'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, these been on here for probably about 8 minutes. I put the lid down just to stabilize the heat, get some nice smoke on them. Crack my doors just a little bit on my vents, and we're gonna let them smoke up a little bit, let them char up a little bit, and move them around. Let's see what we got. All right, time to move some things around. Looking pretty right. There we go. Let's get this one into the fire. And we're looking good. We're going to close this lid back up. Let them fire up a little bit more. Keep them on there for about another 3-4 minutes. That's it. We'll pull them. Alright, so I shut down my outlets. I'm letting these kebabs just get some smoke on them real quick. And then I have some nice tortillas down here just to soak up the grease and the juice from them. And we're going to pull them. Let's go. Alright. we go. Well, these guys are looking right. Just get that one kicked in there a little bit more. I'm gonna pull him. We're done. Meet you inside. All right, we're on season 2's chopping block. Let's see what we got. Look at those. The first thing we're gonna do is grab a kebab skewer and get right in here. Let's cut that right in half. Like butter. And we're gonna get a little pitmaster taste there. That is very, very, very nice meat. Excellent. All right, I'm going to get this plated up for you. Show you what this looks like on a plate. Now this is our Mediterranean rice. And it came out beautiful. Now to go along with this, we have a salad, 3 different peppers. A waxed Hungarian pepper, serrano, and a habanero. Purple onion, nice cherry tomatoes, radish, scallion, bell red peppers, and yellow. Let's plate up. Let's get some rice on the plate. All right, we're going to follow off with a kebab. Just like that. Push that over. And we're going to get some of our salad on here. Purple onion, little radish, going with a little Hungarian pepper, little scallion, and maybe a red cherry tomato on that side to top it off. And I'll go with a little bell pepper on top. There it is. Nice Mediterranean meal. I'm going to show you a different angle. All right, we're going to get situated, and we're going to meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and there it is. Sirloin tri-tip kebabs, served Mediterranean style. With a beautiful Mediterranean rice, bread, a beautiful white sauce, and a Mediterranean salad. And if you like this video, and many more that are about to come on season 2, please hit that like button and subscribe. And thank you for joining us again. And with no further ado, I gotta get that little Pitmaster taste.